All right. Good morning or good evening. Day 9?
Nine.
9? It is 9. That's correct. How you doing?
I'm good.
It's been a long day. I don't know why, but it's been a long day. I'm
It
a little
has
bit
been a
tired.
long day.
Yeah, yeah. But we're committed. We're still pulling through. So day 9, and I think you're up.
I'm up. I did my yoga. Um, I did yoga. I actually did a little bit more than just yoga. I did yoga, and then I also did some additional stretches and PT kind of stuff. Um, felt good. Felt good
Yeah.
overall. And I I am saving just because I ended up on the roof a little longer than expected, and watching Doctor Who a little longer than expected. So I am saving my meditation for a pre-bed meditation, which is one I really like on the Calm app, which is I think it's called Deep Relax or something. And you basically, I think I mentioned this in another, where you tense each muscle group through breath, and then it really helps so much with sleep. And all I'm going to do tonight is just, even though my yoga and PT were longer today than traditional, I'm going to do a longer version of that, because I kind of want to see what it's like, because I normally do like a 5-minute one. I think I'll do closer to a 15. And I may read a little bit, but what I am going to 100% promise is that I'm going to sleep early tonight, because that did not happen last night, as you know. And because of it, we got the alert about our historic Krispy Kreme, even though we don't really go to it, but it's still a landmark. So, but kind of burning down, not down, but we were up late enough that we hadn't gone to sleep when we got those alerts.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It really did
Nope.
glaze over the day, though.
yeah, the hot fresh now comments were pretty
Yeah, I
out
mean,
there.
yeah. Well, so on my part, I'm glad you brought up the going to bed at a reasonable hour, because that's actually something that I'm glad that we're both kind of thinking on, and I think we have to focus on it a little bit. Yesterday I was talking about thinking about cheating. Today, look, I got some time in, and I actually the time I got, I think it's interesting, but I think a lot of the time was me again arguing with myself about the time, and even and not necessarily in the rationalization sense, but I think where it turned today is I realized that I was really getting involved in some of the work that I want to do, and some of the things that I was just driven by, and that creative spirit, and some of the things I have. And while there's nothing wrong with it, and I really, that's part of where I was debating even myself on it. There's nothing wrong with that energy, but I do find it interesting, especially because of what the last 8 days has been, right? 8 plus days have been. When I forced myself to think about it, is it really did bring up a few points in my mind to evaluate. At what point does either a passion or a hobby, or even just general interest, hit that obsession level, and hit that, and even maybe borderline unhealthy. Because I'm not necessarily saying it's unhealthy, but I think it's interesting that I find it all consuming, or I can. I even find it even more interesting when I make the parallels to maybe some of the more negative work experiences I've had, because there's a similarity in the energy, there's a similarity in the passion, there's a similarity in this laser focus I sometimes get when there's an idea in my head, or there's a new widget, or there's whatever. So today was kind of funny. I felt like, to some degree, because of the promise, today shifted. One of the best examples is I knew I wanted to upgrade my device this morning, and I did go through that, and was really happy initially, and then after I went through the couple hours of that, I discovered that there was one more step that I needed to do. as the rabbit holes are. And there was a part of me that was like, just keep going. You want to see the finished product. You want to get to the end. You want to get to that end. But there's another part of me that's like, no, honestly, I think what you should do, or I think really what needs to happen right now is take a break. And I did. Went out for a little bit, had a happy hour, had some good conversations with friends of mine, and just it was a nice little break. And still that doesn't quote unquote qualify, but and then came back and we watched some shows, and even right now, as you said, with the evening's younger than we've done some of these recordings most recently, and I'm also planning at least a 15-minute that I'm going to add to my day, following this meeting here. So I mean, I guess it's one of those funny things. It's like it's just either get the 45 minutes or talk about why not. And I don't feel like today was a solid 45 minutes, but I also feel like it didn't leave me, and I think it shifted a few things today. And if anything, it's challenging me to think more about what it is sometimes that I get, and I say that get as in you know me. I get sunk into an idea and I don't want to let it go, and I just want to drill into it as long as I can and just make it happen. And until it happens, I'm not satisfied. And I think that's the part that I have to evaluate is like how to um, split that up, how to be more forgiving on, yes, it's going to be, there's going to be a few more hours, but those hours don't have to happen today. Yes, it's maybe a little bit more of this effort, but it doesn't have to happen this moment. So that's a lot of what today was. Unfortunately, I will say right now, none of my babies are actually printing anything, but that's okay. So, but yeah, like I said, I definitely want to do better, and I definitely want to make sure I do. I have got some good smaller meditations. I looked at my parables this morning. I read some things, kind of set the focus of the day. Oddly enough, I keep having this repeating theme randomly pop up about fear, which is interesting. I don't consider myself a fearful person, but it's an interesting thing to apply against just the introspection in general too. So, I spent time. I didn't lose it, but I'm looking forward to at this moment, kind of taking that 15 minutes I still have left and applying it because I do think I need it, and I do kind of miss it, and I do enjoy the ones I had yesterday.
I think you've got a shadow behind you.
I know. It's Sherlock keeps walking back and forth. It's way nice.
If you move your shoulder, I think he's standing right there.
No,
Is he? He's
gone. He's in the other room now. So.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I had a perfect prop ready for. What is obsession? And I dropped it.
It is real. It is absolutely real. And again, I go back and forth. It's not a bad thing. It's just, if you're not recognizing, those moments, if you're not recognizing when you start slipping in, it's very easy to lose yourself. And then, next thing you know, 4 days have gone by, and who, what, how? Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of a habitual volunteer. It's not even that I can't say no. I have learned how to say no. I'm pretty fucking great at saying no now.
Yeah, no, you've gotten much better over the years. Absolutely. Myself too. I mean,
yeah,
honestly.
But there are a lot of things that I want to volunteer my time for and to make better. I think a lot of people who would watch this know that a big passion of mine is Georgia film, and I'm working on a lot of things work-wise to pivot into different spaces there. Why has that word become so bad? People just overuse the whole thing.
Which word?
It's actually a great word, pivot. It's
that's 2020. It's just because a year ago that was the buzzword, and that's where it's a little bit of a negative stigma. But
I know.
Still, it's necessary. I mean, we do have to adjust. I have to use
there's
that
always,
word, but,
it's like, I mean, Ross and friends, and I just, so all that to say, I still really love working with the films that come through our neighborhood to help them in a volunteer capacity. And but it can be exhausting. And, I could spend entire weeks basically doing their job and the state's job on helping to communicate and coordinate. And it's not my job. I'm a volunteer doing this to help, ideally, hopefully make people happy about the filming and not pissed off that their street's closed, kind of thing. And that's a very fine line. And that is, you want everybody to be appreciative of it. And, so there, between that and then Delta Sig, which I love, it's been a lot, it's a lot of volunteering in a virtual space, and wanting to really work to make sure that we're putting out good content and that we're doing everything right. It's taken a lot of meetings, but again, you put your passion where your passion lies. And just like a hobby, that's essentially what volunteering is. And not everybody, it's hobbies, volunteering, all of this are things that you can get into an obsessive level of it. It's life's balance,
Yeah.
and it's finding that balance between it makes you happy, but at what point are you, is it taking you away from other things? Is it taking your mind away from other things? Do you feel like you're going down this kind of rabbit hole where you can't allocate, okay, I'm only spending an hour on this today, just like this, it's like, so.
I think that's exactly the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because I think we had a conversation earlier tonight just talking about other forms of bubbles and things that people get into, and I was kind of somehow making a connection between wine and Facebook. I can slowly sort of kind of recap that, but the main point being is that no matter what you're dealing with, if you focus in a very narrow perspective of what you either listen to or what you do or what you experience or who you talk to, all of these things, you start getting to a point where there's just a single thing in front of you. And yeah, you may love that single thing, but everything else, there's other things too that you like. And I think that's a lot of that kind of sums into a little bit of where this is at. It's like there's nothing wrong with following your passion. And in fact, you want to, and I think I encourage that. But even your passion needs a break. Even your most precious thing you want to do needs to be set aside every once in a while to do something else. And I think that is important. I'm a slow learner on that because I'm stubborn as hell. But I learned something today. I did.
Yeah, and I'll say that even goes into relationships. It's funny because we've always been very open with each other on allowing each other time and space to do what you need and what fulfills you, and that there are things that align. So thankfully you really enjoyed scuba, and so for travel that worked out well, that we are scuba divers and that we enjoy doing that. And we need to, well, you're doing well with your getting in shape, but I need to get into better shape.
No. I just stopped drinking beer. Don't, that's, or I shouldn't say stop. I just slowed down drinking beer. That's not the same as getting on a good physical regimen. But nonetheless, both of us do, because both of us do enjoy that. And I will say that, yeah, the scuba diving is physical. You don't want to
travel. Do you remember travel?
Yeah, but let's not, it's attachment. It will come back. It's not today, and it's not necessarily this moment. That's okay too.
Yeah. And so all that to say in that point, because I know we've gone a little long on this one, is that there are people who dive into a relationship and they shut everything else off. They shut off other passions. They shut off friends. They shut off. It's like everything just becomes just very tunnel vision in that. And I've seen friends go through this where it's like you can just. They may make it through it. Everything may be absolutely fine. But it's kind of, just, it's difficult sometimes to watch that, because again, anytime somebody goes down, and whether it's an obsession or an addiction, it's, it's balance.
I just gotta say, honey, leave Wanda out of this.
She may be a little obsessed.
She
won't
may
go
be a
into
little
that.
obsessed about the past, but that's insanity. All right,
No
well,
spoilers.
day eight, no spoilers.
Day 9.
Day 9, what happened is I just archived day 8. So yes, day 9. You know, so I still good. But yeah, let's do better tomorrow, and let's I think also to
I will do
ourselves,
better
because
tomorrow.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I actually I agree with you, and sometimes I don't on the late nights because every once in a while I really love them. But I'm really agreeing right now. It's like let's get to bed a little bit earlier, and because it's weird when you realize you got to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, oh my god, I feel like I just woke up, and that's not cool. And it's not cool for me either. As like in general, as like so let's maybe that's something else. Not a pinky swear or anything, but I think we'd both be better suited off on getting to
We're
bed a
just
little bit
one-upping
earlier.
our challenge over
Yeah,
and
no,
over.
no, it's holding ourselves accountable, because I would say part of the reason too is that, because it was a later morning and it was a, less
Yeah.
productive start in the morning. And I think that spills into, I'm fighting for time for the things I want to do. And instead,
Right.
so if anything, I think that's just the same promise. But we're going to do better on
I
that
agree.
tonight. Yeah.
Yep. Love you.
I love you too. And I'll see you in 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
All right.